Hey everybody, it's Alethea. So I am here today to bring you some drugstore makeup. Starting off, I have this peptide lip treatment from e.l.f. When I first saw this, I thought, oh, this kind of reminds me of a favorite that I have from Ole Hendrickson. So Ole Hendrickson has this peptide lip treatment. It's like a similar color. So I'm excited to sort of do a side-by-side comparison and see if they feel the same. Also very clean, light citrus scent. One from Ole Hendrickson has a slight tint to it. The one from e.l.f. is completely clear. Now let's try it on. This one first, the name brand. Now let's try the e.l.f. So let's try it on this side. Also really nice. More of a gloss feel. So not super like tacky or sticky, but I will say this one definitely, I think it's more shiny, still very hydrating. This one almost has a little bit more of like that creamy, waxy, almost like a shea butter type feel on the lip. Like I don't think if I told anyone that I did two different sides, they would really notice much of a difference. Next up, I am going to focus on a lip stain that I got. That's a Korean brand Etude Mono Plum. I've heard good things about this stain. One of the YouTubers that I'm a big fan of, Carrie Dayton, she is a big fan of this one. So here's what it looks like outside of the tube. Very cute packaging. So now let's take off the cap. Ooh, that is a fatty. So I'm a little scared, but we're gonna try this and see how it feels. That is pretty. I like that you can kind of build it up. So while this is drying down, actually, I am going to test another product and then we'll come back to this and see if it sets and how it looks. Next up, I got a concealer. This is kind of like a cult favorite. This is the Instant Age Rewind Eraser for fine lines and dry creasing that you start to get as you get a little bit older. In my 40s, that's no secret. Here is the shade 110. It's a little light. I did it intentionally light so that when I'm wearing foundation, this can just be a little bit of under eye brightening. Come on, you can do it. There we go. We'll just dab what's there. I think this applicator is so innovative. Now, some people say you should wait a little bit before blending out concealer. I'm impatient. I'll just do one eye very carefully and then we can always come back, fix it later. As you start blending it out, it's looking pretty good actually. I'm glad I went with the shade I did. If you have extra on your brush, you could always just bring it down. So far, I'm pleasantly surprised with how this under eye concealer is looking. Now that this lip stain has gotten a chance to dry down, I don't feel any discomfort. It doesn't feel tightening or drying, so really happy about that. So I'm just going to press it as hard as I can on the lips. Now you will see a little tiny bit of pink. It's not a lot coming off though. This is pretty clean. I do want to build it up a little bit, so I am going to actually line the lighter lip stain with this lip lingerie, which is in a little bit more of a brown color. I really like to overline my lips, but I think these two look really nice together. And if you make a mistake, quickly get a Q-tip or your finger and just wipe the edges. You can smudge it out while it's still wet. I think this looks really nice, and once the stain liner dries down, I will then top it with our new friend from e.l.f. because I think that's going to be really pretty. I have one more new product from the drugstore, new to me I should say. This is the Infallible Brows Brow Lamination Brow Gel. I am not normally a brow gel girly, but since I've been using my Grande Brow Serum for many months, my brow hairs are a lot more noticeable than they used to be, which is great. This is how it looks out of the packaging. This is the translucent clear shade. It claims to have up to 24-hour wear. Very impressive. Now I am just going to start at the ends and just pull the brow hairs up. That's what the whole lamination trend is sort of like creating volume with brows. That looks pretty good. I love that it's not goopy. Sometimes like the formula can feel like you're just literally putting hair gel on your face. I almost don't even feel the product going into the hairs. I more just see the end result afterwards with them staying in the shape that I'm moving them to. So this is the before, this is the after. You can always adjust based on the shape that you like. I must say I'm pretty impressed. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with this product. If you're not happy, or maybe you notice like some little patches, you can always wait till this dries, then get like a brow pencil or, you know, a little dip brow from Anastasia, like ABH, and just fill it in very delicately. So just sort of do spot treatment to the areas that you think need it. We'll let that set, and while we do that, I'm going to add the gloss to the lip stains from earlier. And I like to do just a tiny little bit of gloss. This is so pretty. So now the test comes of the gloss lifting the stain. We'll see how that is. I'm gonna just blot my lips with this. You know what? That's not bad. I'm just going to press the gloss, and look, that's, aside from that initial pull, it looks like majority of this is staying put. That is very promising. I'm super excited. In case you were curious, you can definitely use a gloss with these stains and it's not going to hurt it. Now that the brows have dried a bit, I'm going to do the tip I was talking about earlier by filling in the gaps. This is the NYX Fluff and Snatch, and this is actually a brow powder pen. Say that 5 times. It has, of course, the spoolie on one side, and on the other side, it's a pen that you have to dip into the powder, but it's like a little sponge applicator. See, it's like a sponge tip applicator. So now the area that I saw is a little dry, I'm just going to do my best to very carefully put in a little bit of color. And you notice that the way I'm applying it is following the same direction that the hairs are. That's my attempt to make this blend in and look as natural as the rest of the brows do. Add that on top of the brow gel. It looks cohesive. That's the point of makeup, in my opinion, is you can make your own rules. So that's all I have for today. It's a really short try on video, but of drugstore makeup. Hopefully this was helpful, and stay tuned because more content is coming your way. For now, I'm Alethea, and thanks for watching. Aloha!